Welcome to the International Segway Polo Association Board of Directors special meeting on Monday, October 13th, 2014. Sherry, would you call roll?
Yes. Ross.
Here.
Van Riesen.
Here.
Forst is absent. Steve Ozdemir.
Here.
And Sherry Ozdemir present.
Great. We don't have any minutes to approve, no scheduled presentation. This special meeting is specifically set up to discuss the voting for the upcoming Board of Directors election and how we're going to allow votes. Preliminary information is that we had very few sign-ups in 2014 for ISPA, predominantly because we didn't follow through and send up the information for people to sign up, and so we got very few people to sign up. And traditionally, the ones that did, and thank you those people that did sign up, because it does help the sport significantly. They did so by getting in touch with us or doing it on their own on the website. So I think where this all started, guys, was I sent an email out to Steve Ozdemir directly, and for the sake of making things easier to understand, I'll just tell you kind of what I said in that email, if I can, where is it? No, of course. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I thought I had this right in front of me. And meeting audio, and congratulations to the Rules Committee. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. I apologize. I think I'd be more prepared for this. Here we go. So my original thing was that we need to understand. I thought I was going to have the direct email, but I don't. So we need to understand how who will be eligible to vote for the board. There's a couple of things. We have a very small number. I'm going to start looking this up while you guys discuss and we talk about it. But the reality is if we only allow the direct members today to vote, then we'll have very little, zero or no voting, and or little voting, I should say. And if we open it up to everybody, it's not very fair to the people that paid for 2014, because that's one of their, that was one of the reasons they paid. The other thought is that if we roll them over and give them free 2015 membership, then okay, we're doing that, and then we're letting everybody vote. Or do we require people to join to vote? And if they join, are they joining for 2014 or 2015? There's just a lot of things to think about from that standpoint. So I just want to get everybody's thoughts. Go ahead.
Did you get the email? I just sent it to you.
I got two emails.
Yeah, so I just sent you a copy of it in case you still are having difficulty finding it.
Yeah, it's...
So that should be the string right there.
Yeah, that's your email to me.
Right. Was there a further?
Oh, there's the one prior to that is what you're saying?
It should have the full string there.
No, the one below that is talking about Rules Committee. I believe Teamer has it. Oh, no, it's right there. My question is, should this be... oh, no, that's the one about, sorry, guys, to confuse everybody, please excuse me. That email that you just sent me is about the forum on the...
Oh, you're right. Yep. Sorry about that.
Right. So that one's about the forum. Anyway, I think it's pretty clear. We're trying to decide who gets to vote in this and how do they get to vote. If we stick to straight rules, we've got a problem because the board did not get the information out to people to join in time. So we need to discuss that and figure out how the best way to handle that's going to be. anybody can open up for discussion. So,
Well, I want to say I'm glad we're recording this so everyone can see the thought process. We've held how many elections in 2014?
in 2014, none.
I thought we held one at the beginning.
We did. We held one at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
Okay.
that's correct. I'm sorry. I apologize. We've held one at the beginning of the year, and then the rules committee stuff as well.
Well, we might have held one, but it turned out we didn't need to. So we've only held one election, and it was very close to when everyone's membership was ending, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other question I would have is the primary reason we had so many members was because in WASCUP in 2013 there was a WASCUP, and because it's an ISPA-sponsored, ISPA-sanctioned event, I believe that requires the people to be ISPA members, correct?
That is correct. In order to play in any ISPA-sanctioned tournament, the rules call for you to be an ISPA member.
Okay, and so probably the main reason we don't have necessarily a lot of people signing for membership is because we didn't have a WASCUP in 2014.
It actually is. I mean, that's one of the reasons, but I want to make sure that I'm very clear that we had the opportunity to notify people, and with all of the things that we were doing, we simply got too busy and didn't do it, and that's unacceptable. Not an excuse, but unacceptable.
The other thing I was going to say was for 2015, we do have a WASCUP, so I suspect we'll get a fair number of people signing up in the next 3 to 6 months, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing to point out. That's correct.
Okay, so that just sort of shows me the ebb and flow of membership and how it seems to be fairly tied to WASCUP, in my opinion.
But currently the WASCUP is every other year, so that doesn't help for the odd year, and we have to deal with how are we going to deal with the odd years?
Yeah, I think that's very vital. I mean, one way of dealing with every odd years is that you pay for a 2-year membership.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. I never even thought about that.
If you're saying that, well, you have the gravity force of the Wool's cap basically for propelling this forward. At the same time, if I'm challenging that, is that, well, first of all, yes, we have the teams participating in the Wool's cap, and therefore, we have members that are applying for the membership fee to all the things. However, though, for instance, I suspect that maybe already in Germany in 2015 now, but at foremost the year after that or the next World Cup, hopefully, I mean, that's also a thing, there will be more teams than places on the World Cup. So you need to do some qualification rounds. So in that term, I mean, again, you have like Germany right now having the biggest lead with all the teams in Germany. I mean, there are like 8 or 9 of them at the moment, I think. And I mean, from an ISPA perspective, we need to make sure that we are on a regular basis having members paying the fees, and not just biannually around the World Cup.
Right. Well, I think part of that is that we can use the automatic notifications to remind people to pay their WASCUP information, their WASCUP dues, but we didn't do that, and so I feel like we missed out on doing that, and we shouldn't penalize people for doing that if that's the case. Are we agreeing with me or disagreeing?
Yeah, I agree with you in that sense.
Yeah.
I would say.
So, with that said, what in your opinions are the best options to make sure we have enough that we allow people to vote without alienating the people that did actually pay for their that did actually pay for their 2014 membership. Sorry, I'm looking for members at the same time. So.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where Steve wandered off to here, but he did have a suggestion of taking that small number of 2014 members who did pay and offering them a refund of their 2014 dues, opening the vote to everyone at that point, and requiring renewal at the beginning of 2015 for next year's dues.
Yeah, sorry.
That's just a summary, but
yeah, that's the crux of my idea, but I was on mute. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's right. I would be more inclined, instead of offering a refund to them, but just rolling it over to 2015.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing pretty much, because
It is the same. It's the same thing minus writing a check out of ISPA, though. Right.
So, but my point would be, it'd be good to not keep doing extensions. As a treasurer, I would prefer this to be a situation where people pay for a calendar year, and we don't continue to just keep extending things like we did in the beginning of this year and potentially now. We already are charging a fairly low amount. Right?
It's a really low amount, but you know that it doesn't mean that people should get the same. People shouldn't be able to get a free ride and not get any. How do I say this? People shouldn't be able to get a free ride without paying, and because then it just encourages people to not pay if they're getting the same benefits as everybody who is paying.
Right. I agree. How many people?
I'm still looking. I'm trying to find out exactly how. I mean, you know, part of the problem is understanding where how Teamer works from that perspective. So I'm working on it.
So would we be able to maybe expand membership to be a 2-year membership and just pretty much double the fee?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. Alexander, can you expand on that a little bit, or what your thought is on that? I think that's a promising idea.
Well, it's a promising idea from one point of view, but at the same time I'm going to be contradictory against myself around it. The promising idea is if we have the WOS cap as a kind of gravitational force for people to pay their and get more, let's say, involved and pay their dues. So I'm like, okay, I want to participate in the WOS cap. Yeah, I need to pay my membership dues. Otherwise, I can't, participate. However, though, for instance, now we had so my.
Oh, everybody still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Lost Alexander.
Possibly.
Alexander, are you back?
We're not hearing him, that's for sure.
He is, I just got a notice saying there's a problem with the call and he's trying to get him back, so.
Yeah, I can see some indication there's a problem. I did want to say, though, that I think one of the difficulties is to have an ISPA-sponsored event, you need a substantial facility. And I want to point out that 2 other events were held this year, right? And
yeah, but both of them could have been sponsored.
Well, here's the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I was just pointing out that we did have 2 events that were held this year, but neither were ISPA sanctioned. Is part of this because the facilities needed to have the facilities and equipment needed to have a ISPA sanctioned event is difficult to arrange? And the reason for saying this is neither Polo in Paradise nor Zurich Cup would have necessarily qualified as it was done. My point being is, I believe Zurich Cup was too small, and in the case of Polo in Paradise, there's too little equipment, right?
Well, Polo in Paradise, we had a problem with field size and everything else. I think the Zurich Cup, if they chose to, could have probably been okay to get certified. We have a certification document or a sanctioning document. It's I don't know if it's finalized, but we have an initial sanctioning document, and I think that they could have if they chose to.
I understand. That sounds good then, because my concern was if WAS Cup seems to be the only time we can hit that bar, we have to question maybe how we sanction a tournament needs to be softened, perhaps. You see my point?
Yeah, no, totally. I agree with that.
Yep.
I'm still looking for the calendar year group here. I have the calendar year, and it looks like we put everybody into the event properly. I'm just trying to figure out how to. It says active members 7 for 2014, but 2013 is not much different. So,
but let's go with that. So we're talking about 7 people basically. So my point would be,
I have a feeling it's more like around 10 or 12, but it's still a small number.
Okay, but I guess my point would be if I wrote 10 to 12 checks, and offered to send them off, we'd be in a position where we could turn to the whole membership and say, pay your 2015 dues. And it would be a pretty simple process.
Yeah, I said, I'm fine with refunding their dues. I still think we should roll them over to eliminate the accounting need to write checks and everything else.
If any of those 10 to 12 people come back to me and say, keep it, then I'd happily do that.
Yeah, again, if there's no difference in your mind of rolling them over to and giving them 2015 and it just basically saying 2014 is a wash, 2015 you're already a member because we took your dues and moved them over, that would be far better from my standpoint than giving them their money back and doing that. I don't think any of them are going to complain. You're talking mostly about Balvic.
I guess it really comes down to giving them the choice. You see.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't.
Okay.
I just think it's not a lot of money, and it's a lot more accounting headache for us to do that.
Okay.
To refund them and then have them repay us. That's all.
And I guess in some senses it looks like income twice, and from a taxing situation that's an issue.
Yeah, it can. It definitely can, for sure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think the chances are, I understand and I appreciate the concern that you should give people a choice. I love that very much. But I think in this perspective, those 10 to 12 members who paid for 2014, they will continue to pay for 2015, and then they will have the choice of saying, yes, keep them in. This is my due for 2015, and everybody else needs to roll in now. Otherwise, you're not eligible to vote.
So are you proposing that we send something out to the membership saying, send your vote and your dues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Do you really feel that we're going to have people sign up specifically to vote? Because what we're essentially saying, Alexander, is you got away without doing anything the whole year, but if you want to vote, you better sign up. And people are going to say, so essentially you're charging me to vote.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay.
Many of these people
basically,
wait. Many of these people will also be playing WAS Cup in what now? 8 months. So it's
we're not talking. I think Alexander's not talking about 2015. He's talking about 2014.
Oh, is that right?
No. Say again.
Oh,
Rob.
You're saying 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. So when people pay, they will be paying for 2015, right, Alexander?
Yeah, they're paying for 2015.
Right, and that's what I was thinking too, Rob.
Okay. Yeah,
So send your dues, send your vote, and this will apply to in 8 months when you're at WAS Cup. There you go.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I don't see why that would be a problem. And then what we would do is just get the existing people that were 20 that paid for 2014, and we just send them an email and say, congratulations, your dues for 2014 have been rolled over to 2015 as well, and we appreciate it. So you're now a member of WAS Cup, ISPA for 2015, and you have nothing to do if you have any questions, send us an email. But we're rolling your dues over.
One other thing I'd like to suggest is that we consider having the WAS Cup organizers charge a handling fee if something like last year happens again.
Something like last year, as in what?
Something like for WAS Cup 2013. So the organizer collected the dues, right, as part of the registration process in 2013. And
that wasn't the way it was supposed to happen, though, Steve.
I understand, but my point would be, if that happens again, I would think that the organizer should be able to collect a handling fee. So one other point we could be making is something along the lines of membership. I believe it was at $35 a year back then, and is that what we're
$35 this year again? But yes.
Okay. And we could be pointing out to people, send your boat in, your $35, and you'll be all set for WAS Cup. Or if you wait till WAS Cup, there'll be a handling fee, because the organizer should be compensated for providing that service.
And I'll make my comment again. That wasn't the way it was supposed to happen there, not meaning that I didn't want to make you think that I meant it wasn't going to happen. What I meant by saying that is that we actually, the goal is, and this was the goal then, and they fought us on it, is that Teamer has we want registrations for ISPA sanctioned events to go through the ISPA website. Teamer has the ability to charge for that event and take care of everything for that event, sign them up. And that means we can run, and so can the organizer can run email campaigns and do all that through Teamer, along with Teamer actually taking the credit card info. And we could then take 100% of the proceeds minus the ISPA fee and send that off to the organizer, however often is needed. The reason that I like that is because when someone signs up on the ISPA website through the store, it automatically moves their membership over to the ISPA, as part of a...
Internally for the organization.
Yeah, it automatically moves them to the right group.
Right. So it sounds to me like what we should be doing is having a discussion with the WAS Cup 2015 organizer. And
well, from that standpoint, with regards to sign up for that specific event, yes. Because we can add onto the sign-up page, like I did this all and gave this information over to the 2013 organizers. But we sign up on that page. We can have it ask questions. We can ask things like, what's the most important thing to you? What are the things? There's just it's an infinite number of things that we can do to customize the sign-up procedure for that. Collect information, find out what teams are on. We'll know who's playing on what teams, when they were, how they registered, everything.
Yeah, it sounds like a very sophisticated and flexible mechanism. But my point is, we really do have to confirm that the WAS Cup 2015 organizer is ready to use it, because that was the problem before, right?
No, the problem before was they didn't. Yeah, well, I guess that is if you say it that way, that does make more sense. They didn't know what information they wanted to collect from people.
Correct.
And they didn't have a sign-up process, so they weren't ready to receive the names of people that did sign up.
Right.
So they decided to do it on their own, and it was really lack of organization on their part at that specific time.
So I'm kind of saying we're looking to the WAS Cup 2015 organizer and making sure they have a commitment to work with us, which we were missing before. So sorry, Alexander, you were going to say?
Yeah, no, I don't want to stress anything, but I'm running about the same schedule here as both James Crawford.
Okay.
And I've been up since 5:30 this morning, and it's now
Alexander, we've
11:30.
We've talked about the thing that we need to. So as long as we're not, you're fine to go ahead and cut out. It makes sense. At this point, I can close that portion of the meeting because what we're talking about was not on the agenda anyway.
Right.
So
Okay.
Let me just close it out. Let's see here. So quickly then, the action item is that we are going to take any player who played in 2000 or who paid for the ISPA membership dues in 2014. We're going to roll those over and make sure that those dues are cover their 2015 membership and inform them of such. And then anyone who wishes to vote in the ISPA Board of Directors upcoming election, must have their 2015 membership dues current. Otherwise, they will not be allowed to vote in the election. Can I get a motion?
Yeah,
Yes.
Go ahead. So yeah, I motion that we roll over the fees and notify people that that's been done, and then for the upcoming election, do the collect dues for 2015. Is that right?
That's correct. Second? Anybody?
I second that.
Okay. Sherry, you can record whoever you felt went first on that second.
Sure.
Okay, so done. With that, we have no other items on the agenda, so this will close the International Segway Polo Association Board of Directors special meeting held on Monday, October 13th.